Delicious foods are drugs that will inflame the gut and rot the bones, but there is no harm if one eats moderately. Delightful things are all purveyors of destruction and decadence, but there is no regret if one enjoys them moderately. Do not criticize people for their minor faults, do not reveal people's secrets, do not remember people's past wrongs. These three things can build character and prevent harm. The universe may exist indefinitely, but this body is not obtained a second time. Human life only lasts 100 years, if that. And these days slip by easily. Those who would live happily know the joy of having life and remember the sorrow of wasting life. Resentment becomes manifest because of goodwill, so rather than try to get people to exercise goodwill toward you, it is better to forget about both resentment and goodwill. Enmity is based on favor, so rather than try to get people's gratitude, it is better to forget about both enmity and favor. The sickness of old age are brought on during one's youth, the troubles of one's declining years are created during one's prime. Therefore, people should be very careful when in full bloom. Selling personal favor is not as good as assisting public consensus. Making new acquaintances is not as good as warming up old friendships. Establishing a glorious reputation is not as good as planting hidden virtues. Valuing unusual conduct is not as good as being careful about ordinary actions. One should not oppose what is fair and just. If one does so, it will leave a legacy of shame. One should not enter in among power brokers. If one does so, the stain will last forever. Compromise to please others is not as good as integrity that annoys others. Rather than be praised without being good, it is better to be slandered without being bad. When there is trouble among relatives, one should remain calm and not get agitated. When friends are in error, one should be stern and not gloss over it lightly. 1,000 pieces of gold may hardly bring a moment's happiness, but a small favor can cause a lifetime's gratitude. Too much love can turn into enmity, while aloofness can produce joy. Hide cleverness in clumsiness, act ignorant but be bright, use restraint to expand. These are three hiding places for dealing effectively with life. Those who are amazed at wonders and delight in the extraordinary do not have great knowledge. Solitary ascetics do not have enduring discipline. When anger or passion boils up, even when we are clearly aware, we still go ahead. Who is it that is aware? Who is it that goes ahead? If we can turn our thoughts around in this way, the devil becomes the conscience. Don't be biased in belief and let yourself be deceived by the dishonest. Don't rely on yourself too much and let yourself be compelled by moods. Don't use your own strengths to bring out others' shortcomings. Don't resent others' abilities on account of your own incompetence.